Yes, there's a CDC moratorium that's in order, and it's not really helping because nobody is really holding the landlords and the property management companies accountable. There's a whole judicial and executive branch fight that's going on right now where, the sheriff department, the judges are like, whatever, we're going to do whatever we want to do because the Supreme Court said we can. And even though the executive branch, Governor Beecher, is like, but the executive branch and the federal government said you can. The sheriff is, I work for the judges. So if the landlord brings me a warrant of possession, I'm going to execute it no matter what the federal government says because I work for the judge and because Judge Haney ordered it, then I'm going to go and execute it. The judges are unbelievable. I mean, they go from, some days I sit in Occupy Eviction and I'm like, okay, Judge, you had a good day today. And then sit on Occupy Eviction the next day and she's in her willing evictions like, Slim Jim. So I guess it really just depends on how they feel that day, what's going on with them on that day, because they're not following no rules but their own rules. Eviction court is a whole nother level of court where the judges and the sheriff department, there's no one holding them accountable. They have this sort of immunity to where they can make judgments and be wrong about the judgments and admit that they messed up, but they don't have to hold any accountability. So eviction court is scary. Eviction court is pathetic. Eviction court is a whole good old boy system that has been set up for years that needs to be dismantled. Yes. What's going on in eviction court right now? I can use the 78-year-old Miss Easley as an example. She's a heart and lung patient, has doctor's orders to stay healthy at home. So they get this eviction notice on their door, and the next day is the day of eviction court. So normal people go to court physically. So her daughter physically took Miss Easley, 78-year-old elderly woman, to the courthouse. And they were turned away because your court is on Zoom. They didn't know it was on Zoom. So when they get the Zoom information and do get on the Zoom, the judge in the courtroom acknowledges them, tells them that your case has already been called, you missed it, and we're not going to go back. The judgment has been entered. So pretty much it just depends on the day and the judge, because some days you can go to court physically and they will let you in. Then some days you get turned away at the door, and if you're not on the Zoom fast enough, you're getting a judgment against you. And what I'm finding a lot of too is a lot of people are getting evicted based off of judgments for court cases that they never got notice of. So these landlords are moving forward with evictions without even giving 30-day notices like the order says, and let alone even serving the tenant with the fact that they even have eviction court. So the judges are moving forward with eviction rulings without the tenant even being present and without even knowing for a fact that the tenant has been served.